Yo, wagwan, what's going on? I'll tell you what's going on. I damn near blew it, man. I damn near blew it, boy. I damn near lost my bearings, bro. So I haven't posted in a minute. I've gotten away from the habits that got me here, to be honest with you. And that's why I'm back. So I got my account, I got my funded account. I got to withdraw, I got to pay out. Then I went up 1,500. Feel me? First of all, I had been at first of all, on Take Profit Trader, after you pass your eval, you got to make an extra 4% and get your daily drawdown limit to the starting balance of 50K or whatever your account size is. And then after that, you can start withdrawing your profits. So what I did, I fucking tweaked. I tweaked. So I was stuck at 1,500. So I was stuck at 3%, and I just needed that extra percent. And I was stuck there trading between 51,000 and 52,000 for like 2 weeks. Right. And then I finally broke out of it at the end of last week because I kept on holding trades too long, or I would close trades early and would just wind up getting reversed on, or I would wind up over trading and caring too much about the results and trying to make money now, you know what I mean? And that just kept me stuck for a couple of weeks. Finally got out of that at the end of last week, made 1,500, withdrew 400 earlier that week. Feel me? And yeah, I was this often tends to happen, right? I'm noticing a cycle that I go through with my trading is I'll fuck around and start the week rough because I'm too excited, just too eager to make money, too eager to see some results, and I'll fuck around and start the week rough, and then I'll end the week strong. I'll get my shit back together. And then those 2 days afterwards, I'm just ready to get back on the market. And, you know, just like a horse busting out the stable or a bull busting out the stable, I just attack the charts. So my strategy does not involve trading during Sydney session, especially the first candle of Sydney session. Now I'm in a trading community where niggas be making money and they call their trades out. I'll tail them out, you know what I'm saying? I'll take their trades. But sometimes I'll skip out and miss out if I know that is in my session. And yesterday was not one of those times, feel me? So I got in a trade as soon as he called it out. It was 6:01 on Sunday. It was 6:01. You know what I'm saying? He trades on the 4 hour, and I just wasn't paying attention and got in way too early. Didn't even think about how that's not in alignment with how I like to trade, and I cut my trade early. Then, and this was on my 150K eval, and lost that shit immediately. Then waited until my alert got hit. Then I got back in a buy, and I never actually got stopped out. Price never actually hit my stop loss. I closed my trade early again. This time though, this trade actually was the huge mistake. This trade was the huge mistake. So got in too soon and price started going against me. And I was very confident in this trade. So I took my big amount. I'm okay with risking this much. So on my 50K, that's 1%, that's 500. On my 150K, that's, I never risk 1% on there. So 1,000, right? Like 75% or 0.75%. And I wound up getting stopped out of that trade. But if I'm okay with losing that, then why does that matter? Mind you, I said on my 50K, I ended the week up 1,500 in real money that I could have just withdrew, feel me? But I really wanted to use that money as a buffer, feel me? I wanted to use that money as a buffer, and I'm glad I did, because that $1,000, I accidentally took that on my 50K. Fuck. I accidentally took that on my 50K. So wound up going down a band, and I'm back to 53.5. I'm back to just only being up 500 instead of 15. And that shit fried me. On my 150K, I only lost 300. At that point, I've already lost a full 1,100 on the day. No need to be trading anymore. So I said, I wasn't at home. I wasn't in front of my computer where I typically like to trade. Once again, getting away from the things that worked and got me to where I am right now. And I couldn't lock out of the account. For some reason, you can't do it on Trade-O-Vate mobile. So I couldn't lock out my account. And just started spiraling, started losing my bearings, because I saw that I made a really fucked up mistake. Because if I lost that trade, I was like, all right, bet, just lock out until my actual trading hours, and you know what I'm saying, we'll just see what we do then. But instead I overtraded and kept on trading, and I didn't blow it. Feel me? I didn't blow the account, because thank God I had that buffer. Feel me? Because I lost that whole thing. That 1,500 I made at the end of last week, lost that whole shit. And I'm going to build that buffer back. So it's going to be a little minute before, well, who knows how long it'll be. But yeah, I got to build that buffer back basically. And I'm really grateful that I had it, because I made a really bad mistake by risking my big amounts on the wrong accounts. Feel me? I only lost 300 on the 150K, but I lost 2%, a whole band on my 50K account, just from not being attentive, over trading, and not trading during my allotted sessions. Feel me? So that's what yesterday looked like. And then I wound up coming home, and I saw a setup I really liked. Feel me? I saw a setup I really liked. But at this point, my psychology was cooked. Honestly, at this point, my psychology was cooked. Mentally, I was not there. Then I was trying to play a game of Madden. Usually that doesn't spell so bad, honestly. But I was playing a game of Madden, and my brain was just racked, because I wasn't trying to lose this game, and I don't want to lose another trade, but I see potential in the market, and I want to try to take it. So let me show y'all what I took on Nas yesterday night. Oh yeah, actually, I was in a trade. I was over trading, and then when I went home, I was already in a trade that, mind you, this is like the fourth trade within 3 hours. Mind you, the first trade that he called out wound up being a 670 point winner, never hit the original stop. See, just being impatient. I took like 5 trades in the span of 2 hours, and I closed like 3 of them. Some of them really never hit the stop. So let me see. So I wound up getting I wound up telling myself, yo, I need to take a walk. All right, I need to get off the charts. I need to recollect myself and reassess. So I let my trade run while I took a walk. I expected it to just hit my TP. Price went 170 points in profit. My TP was 190, and price wound up reversing all the way back to break even, and I had to close my trade. It never hit the stop loss, but what I had to tell myself was, look, if you were in this trade and you saw it go up 170 points, chances are you probably would have closed it early, right? Chances are stop would have already been moved to break even. So if you see price trading back at break even right now, what would you do? You wouldn't even be in this trade. You would be repositioning yourself. So close and reposition. And that's exactly what I did. So I wound up doing that. And then I told myself, yo, in actuality, you're not even supposed to be trading right now. All right? In actuality, you're not even supposed to be trading right now. Yes, you just missed out on, yes, price just reversed on you. And that is honestly the one thing that triggers me the most in the market. Like imagine you make a fucked up mistake, like over leveraging on the wrong account, and then over trading and messing up your winnings from last week. And then the next trade you're in goes in profit and then reverses on you. I just got back from a walk where I got myself together, and then the one thing that low-key triggers the most mistakes in my trading happens immediately. I got back, I was like, yo, I think I need to go on another walk. But at this point, it's like 8:45 at night, bro. It's getting a bit nippy, windy. I'm like, you know what, nah, bro. But I probably could have benefited from going on another walk. So I wound up repositioning. I saw, let me show y'all what I saw, actually. I forgot. Back on that bottle. It was this right here. So on the 1 minute, it's the 1 minute time frame. Me personally, this isn't how I make my decisions. So I had to catch myself, and I saw this 1 minute engulfing, and I said, okay, bet price is about to continue higher. Look at this bullish price. Look at this bullish engulfing, and it just came right back to entry. Bullish engulfing off of this order block. It's going to continue from here, and price bought up. And because I was chart watching, my brain was racked, psychology was all over the place. I saw this retracement back to entry, and I thought, you know what? It's about to keep selling off because we didn't even close above here. And, you know, I was really targeting this gap that the market made, that price action made, as just an ultimate re-entry for a sell down. And, you know what, let me just close my trade. I'm not supposed to be trading right now anyway. And ultimately, oh yeah, and on the 5 minute, so on the 1 minute, there was confirmation, but on the 5 minute, there's no candlestick confirmation. If there's no candlestick confirmation on the 5 minute, fuck what the 1 minute says. If it's not on the 5 and or the 15, then it's no trade. And on the 5 minute, it didn't give that. I'm trading when I'm not supposed to, so I just said, you know what? F it, if I can make money, I'm closing my trade. And this was a 33-point risk that never got stopped out. I think something like this, but I know it was below this low. And I just wanted a 1 to 3 on here. Feel me? I just wanted a 1 to 3 on here. I was like, yo, that's on the table for real. And price wound up. Shit. Price wound up going in my direction. I woke up seeing like, nigga, if I just held this motherfucker, shit. But ultimately, this is my strat. It doesn't matter if it was possible for me to win. This was my strat, all right? If I'm not supposed to be trading right now, close the trade, lock out the account. That's what I did. I locked out until this AM, and then let me show you. If I could just go to the 1 hour. But that was a 1 to 3 right there that I just closed. Mind you, I just said I was up 1,500. I wound up losing 1,000. That was a 1 to 3 right there. On my 150K, I'm down 1%. That was a 1 to 3 right there. I would have made all that shit back. That was the mindset I went into that trade with, and that's the only reason I took it. But the idea that you have to make back your losses is revenge trading. You don't have to make it back. Just do. The results will come from you just being a profitable trader. From you just operating as a profitable trader, the results will come. By you just operating as a profitable trader, you will go about the process. You will be process oriented to where you focusing on the process will inevitably produce the results that you seek. But you don't have to go out of your way to force results, because by doing so, you push them away. You have to allow the reality to come in, all right? And the way you do that is by existing as such. If you have to basically like reverse engineer your manifestations and your, you know, let's just stay focused. But you have to reverse engineer your manifestations. Ask yourself, what would the profitable trader be doing right now? Would he be trading knowing when he's not supposed to? No. Why would he? Why would he be seeking more money when he's already sitting on a lot? He's profitable. He's got a lot of cash flow. He's got a lot of money that he's sitting on. He doesn't need to force trades. He doesn't need to trade during Asian or Sydney, knowing damn well he's made all of his millions and all of his money from trading pre-New York or New York session. He doesn't need to. by thinking from the endpoint and operating as such, that is the only way you get there. But you do not have to force yourself like, all right, bet, let me just take this trade and then that's gonna get me a win. And you know what I'm saying, we're gonna keep on progressing like that. Like, no, that's not how it works. Trading will very quickly show you that that is not how that works. So the trade that I took today, so ultimately last night when I saw price make this candle right here off this entry I just showed y'all after it cleared that gap and there was bullish price action a little bit, I was like, okay, I just want to take it back up to here and chances are it could continue selling off, but I know I'll get what I need just off that right there. Now I could have held the trade, boy, I whatever, and I was ultimately just telling myself, all right, if price does reverse and retrace on the higher time frame for real, it's just going to be a retracement probably up to here and then continue selling off, right? And I was telling myself this last night when I took this trade. It'll retrace up to here during Sydney and Asian session, and London session, and then New York, we can get that sell-off and continuation because there's just a lot of selling pressure in the market. And I completely forgot about that, you know? So, boom, I see this wick to the upside. When I see long-ass wicks like this, when I see huge wicks like this, and on the 1 hour, not a real close, not a real break of structure. We have internal breaks of structure here, but not a real break of any swing positions. Even though it came and grabbed this buy side liquidity, we didn't close above, so I can't say that we are officially bearish. So, boom, I was looking at this like, you know what, I see a bullish uptrend, but this wick right here says we're about to continue selling off here. But I don't want to trade against the trend, so I wanted to wait and see what price does. At this point, this is the candle that was forming when I left the gym and left Tropical Smoothie. I said, all right, we get a bearish engulfing here, then we're going to sell off. We did not get that bearish engulfing, and I did the right thing, and I sat on my hands. I waited. And then, boom, fast forward to 9 o'clock. We bought up, and I didn't have this marked up at the time, so I didn't know we was at equilibrium of this whole 15-minute candle right here, that whole little expansion move. I didn't know we were there. So price started holding this level and not wanting to close above 50%. Let me show you. Price started holding this level and not really wanting to close above 50%. And it's 9 o'clock now, and this just looked very similar to what I just saw right here. So I said, we might get a push up to London high, grab that, and then fuck around, continue higher. Is that what I said we were going to do? Was that my original perspective? Now, I don't like trading against the trend, but I also don't like trading against, trading into wickage. This is what I call that. I call this wickage, because this operates as resistance. This whole wick really operates as resistance. So I don't really want to enter a sell against this. I don't really want to enter a sell against this trend, but I also, even though it's trending upward, I'm still not that comfortable getting a buy. But I still did anyway, right? Still did anyway. And I also didn't see a candlestick confirmation, you know? Yes, we got a break here, and it's kind of not really a break because of how long this wick is. Yes, we did close above here, but we're still inside the range of this candle. We're still at 50%. So, I mean, I guess we got a semi-break, but nothing to really respect. And then we get a little retracement, and even though it's a bullish candle amidst an uptrend, that doesn't mean we're buying. It just means that's what price was. That just means for the last 5 minutes, buyers won, you know? Next candle, 9 o'clock, it pushed up, and this has been a big problem for me lately. I have been entering trades before candles close, strictly just out of emotion, simply just trading my emotions. And I'm saying this has been a problem for me lately. No, this has been a problem for the last 12 hours. For the last 18 hours, this has been a problem. Entering trades before candles close because I just want to, I want to get the results. Basically, I want to get the results. I'm not thinking about my process because my process and my strat tells me to wait for candles to close, tells me to be patient. So I saw price pushing up, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, all right, bet it's going to continue and we're going to get a London high and then maybe retrace. Mind you, I saw this order block down here at London low, and I told myself, bro, we should come grab this right here if we're going to continue higher. And that was a target for me, and I thought, all right, I want to see it sell down to here. That's why I wanted a bearish engulfing off of this at this candle right here at the open of the 8-hour candle. I wanted to see a bearish engulfing here and then a push down to here in London low before we continue higher. Didn't get that, so yeah, this was ultimately a target for me though. Damn, look like I'm trying new shit, but this was ultimately a target for me. Forgot about it. Once again, getting emotional just because of how price is moving. And this was like I entered in like the first minute of this candle because I saw it pushing bullish and it closed as a bearish hammer. And then price ultimately wound up doing exactly what I said. That's the second time or third time in this video I said that price wound up doing exactly what I said it would. But I just got emotional. I was getting emotional, losing my bearings, and not sticking to my process, not sticking to my strat, and that wound up. I damn near blew my live account, bro. I ain't gonna lie. All right, I damn near blew that jump. I think I started last week at 280 maybe, 220 maybe, and I built that jump all the way back up to 527, and you know what I'm saying, nigga progressing on that jump, bro, over trading these last 18 hours, that that joint went right back down to 176. So after, oh yeah, I forgot to say, I got in the buy here. I got in the buy here, and then I saw the way price was reversing, and I told myself, yo, there was never candlestick confirmation. You entered before the candle closed. Just get the fuck out, cut your losses. It is what it is. And I locked out my account until tomorrow. And to be honest, I might lock it out again until Wednesday, and I'll keep doing it until I feel like rules have become accessible again. I have a routine. I can go back to full screen now. I have a routine where I visualize success, right? So, for example, I guess you can just call it locking in. Imagination and visualization is a very powerful thing if you don't already know. If you can see it in your head, if you can visualize yourself doing it, that helps you be able to do it in reality a little more. So, for example, before I go work, before I bartend, I always, because I'm a new bartender and I've made a lot of mistakes at an upscale restaurant, you know what I mean? So every time before I go in, I lock in. I say to myself, I see myself doing this. I see myself doing that. And I'm really visualizing myself doing good. And that shit has really spelled wonders for me. That shit has done really good for me. It works every time. So I do the same with trading, and I apply that same thing to almost everything. And, you know what I'm saying? I did that when I woke up, but I didn't do it when the markets opened yesterday. Like I said, I've noticed a pattern of me getting too excited and forgetting my rules and effing up my trades the first on a Monday when the market opens. You know what I'm saying? So, and oftentimes it's because I don't lock in. I don't do my visualization lock in. So I didn't do that yesterday when the markets opened. I just hopped right in as soon as I heard a call out, didn't think about how it aligned with my perspective of the charts, and just not at all was thinking about what a profitable trader would be doing right now. And that wound up completely effing up my progress yesterday and what I'm doing today. And I told myself after I closed my trade earlier that, you know what, it doesn't matter what money is on the table. I don't need to be taking a trade until I feel like my trading state is back together. I don't need to be taking a trade until I feel like rules have become accessible again. Feel me? A lot of times, a lot of y'all, you'll be taking trades and you'll be trading and you'll be in the completely wrong state of mind, complete wrong state of being. Put a mic closer to me. You'll be in a complete wrong state of being, and your rules, you know all of your rules, you know what your rules are. You know exactly what you should and shouldn't be doing on the charts. But you don't even know that you're operating in a state of being that makes your rules inaccessible. And then when I look at my habits yesterday, how I woke up all the way until the market open, I ain't gonna hold you. I woke up anticipating market open. Feel me? I woke up anticipating that shit. I woke up scrolling social media and just laying in bed for a couple of hours. Never do that. But one thing I can tell you is anytime I have done that, anytime I do that and I wake up and scroll, the entire day becomes a dopamine binge. The entire day just becomes chasing dopamine. And that's exactly what happened yesterday. I mean, that's exactly what happened. So, yeah, I locked out my account and I don't plan on taking a trade again until, you know what I'm saying, maybe we'll see how we feel tomorrow. We'll see what price looks like tomorrow. Because, oh yeah, another thing too is, yeah, I'm comfortable trading US 30, but Nas is what I was making my money on last week, and Nas is what I'm really good at trading. So just getting back to normal. But we'll see how I feel tomorrow, and if I'm comfortable taking a trade, then I will. If I feel like my rules are accessible, then I'll take a trade. But chances are we won't trade again until Wednesday, and honestly, it really could just wind up becoming a no trade week until I take this trip to Florida. You know what I mean? Just knowing, and I'm taking a trip to Florida next Wednesday, next Thursday, one of those days. Just need a break, reset, need a vacation, and I know how therapeutic that is for me. I'm perfectly comfortable sitting where I'm at right now and just not taking a trade until I get back from them. So that'd be 2 weeks without trading. I don't mind it because it's just about protecting capital. It's about doing the right thing. I gotta ask myself, what would the profitable trader do? Right? What would the profitable trader do? After damn near blowing his live account, losing 4% in a day on the funded account, losing 1% just losing all that he gained in the last week, right? What would he do? Oh, lock out the accounts and don't trade until you get your mind back right. Simple as that. If that's what he would do, if that's what I would do when I'm sitting on a mill and my trading account, my live accounts look great, my P&L be looking crazy, then that's what I'm gonna do now, because I know that that action and that state of being is what's gonna get me to that reality and that experience. Well, I'm sitting below the mic and shit. My fuck. This chair, bro. This shit slowly start going down, bro. Like, fuck, am I fat, man? Also, this me being comfortable not trading. I'm literally just back where I started. You know what I mean? Who cares? Who cares? It honestly gets to a point where if you're worried about progress, you're also worried about results. The only thing you need to be worried about is process. The only thing you need to be worried about is doing the rule, is following your rules and doing what is in alignment with your process. All right. If you know that this is all you need and this is all you need to do to get to here, then that's all you need to do. Trying to venture outside of there, trying to do more, you're just going to wind up blowing the account. You're going to wind up blowing your results. Trying to force progress is going to negate progress. Trying to force progress will cause a regression. And that's exactly what happened to me. I progressed and I wound up regressing right back to where I was for the last 2 weeks. And you know, if I've been comfortable there, then fuck it. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind being there for another 2 days, another week, another 2 weeks, because I'm not comfortable trading. And ultimately, in the grand scheme of the universe, in the grand scheme of my trading career, taking a 2 week break might be just what I need to really continue going forward. You know what I mean? If I feel like my rules are inaccessible and I know that I'm not in the right trading state, bro, it doesn't matter how long it takes for me to get out of that. Don't take a trade. Protect your capital. Make the right decision. You know, I can keep going. Honestly, I can keep going, bro. I don't know. Maybe I'll make another video. But you know what? This is going to be the precursor to the next video. Identity decides reality. Identity decisions reality. First becomes your identity. Your identity produces your decisions, and your decisions produces your reality and what you experience directly. And this is on a quantum level. When it comes to every decision becomes like a crossroad type of thing, or a split road type of thing, where, all right, if I take this trade knowing I don't see a candlestick confirmation, chances are this motherfucker might go against me. But if I do take it, but if I wait for the confirmation, then I might just avoid a loss, some feelings and psychological, emotional and psychological turmoil from taking this loss could be completely avoided. And if I just decide not to trade, that right there is the unprofitable trader and the profitable trader. And then you waiting winds up leading you to price giving you an entry confirmation, and then you wind up profiting, and now you feel good about yourself because you followed your rules and you followed your strat. Two different realities. So the only way you can make that right decision is if you are the person to make the profitable decision in that moment. An unprofitable person, they're going to be impatient. They're going to force. They're going to say, fuck that. They're going to go down this road. The profitable one, they're going to wait. They're going to trust their strat. They're going to be patient. And they're going to go down this road. And that will lead to two completely different realities and experiences. I told myself before I started recording, damn, I wonder where the fuck I would be right now if I didn't get on the charts yesterday. Because it didn't. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to trade anticipation and prediction. I want to trade confirmation. So what I did anticipate and predict, right? But what I anticipated and predicted, sure as hell happened, man. But I didn't trust it. I got emotional and I fucked up yesterday. That wound up leading to me fucking up today. And you see how two different decisions wound up creating different realities and experiences. So identity, decisions, reality. Your identity decides the reality you experience. And that'll be the next video. I'll end this joint here. This joint went a lot longer than I needed to. But I noticed that, bro, I need to, whenever I feel like I am either spiraling in my trading or making repeat mistakes or I'm stuck, I just come on here, I make a video, and I just update where I'm at. And ain't nobody watching these motherfuckers, but this is just for me. I also need to get back to doing what works for me. So one of those is trading in front of the computer screen. This is not the first time that I accidentally over leveraged and on the wrong account. One time it wound up leading to me getting funded, and it was like, oh fuck, bet, like, let's not make this mistake again. And then wound up happening again. This time it was not in my favor. So yeah, getting back to doing what works, trading in front of this screen, in front of the monitors, in front of the iPad, the phone, and you know what I'm saying, not mixing devices, because that should be frying me, bro. That should be frying me. That little mistake too, that mistake of over leveraging sent me off the deep end, boy. That shit sent me off the deep end. That shit really fried me. If I just lost 1%, I would have been fine. But yeah, get back to what works. Another version of that is also recording when I trade. I haven't been conscious and aware, and I haven't been journaling recently, and I really need to get back to that. Feel me? That's a huge part of what got me here. Don't just try to keep track of what's going on in your head, because you'll unconsciously wind up repeating mistakes, and that's just like what I've been doing. So getting back to recording my entries, recording my trades, watching how I think and the things that I do when I'm on the charts, and also posting that shit. Feel me? Also posting that shit. I haven't posted on my shit in a minute. I'm talking about my Instagram. I haven't posted on that joint in a minute. So really just want to get back to doing what works, and I'm gonna keep y'all updated. So ta-ta.